Westbrook tosses. George, pump fake, three on the way. Yes!
KD three. Right on cue.
Twisting, weaving, firing, and hitting.
To Leonard. Sharing and caring.
Hi, I'm Scott Patrick in the Dish Studio. It is tip-off time for the second half of the NBA season. And the best place to watch the best games and the most NBA action, where we are right now with Dish and NBA League Pass. You can watch the Heat from Minnesota or the Timberwolves from your place in Phoenix. Want to watch more than one team? Well, the NBA League Pass is for you, giving you access to all the out-of-market teams across the NBA with up to 40 live NBA games a week. But wait, there's more. We have a special half-season offer which will take you all the way to the end of the season when all the biggest games take place. To find out more, check out mydish.com/NBA or just give us a call at 1-877-347-4778. That's 1-877-DISH-PPV. And who better to get us in the know for the second half of what looks to be the closest and one of the best seasons in NBA history, but some of the best players in NBA history who walk the walk and now talk the talk. Check out this all-star lineup. Chris Webber, Kevin McHale, Steve Smith, Greg Anthony, and Isiah Thomas. I got to go one-on-one with these legends at the NBA broadcast headquarters in Atlanta. We begin with Chris Webber, five-time NBA All-Star, five-time All-NBA team member, and now full-time NBA analyst. Hey, it's great to have you on Dish.
Thank you.
I love watching you at night. It's been so much fun. How do you like your teammates now?
I love my teammates. The job that I'm in is there's a lot of I feel a little vulnerable at times because it's a new position, but having someone great like Ernie Johnson walk me through it, and then having the professionals on the outside makes it a lot of fun for us to have players only. So we get to be a little unconventional, we get to be a little fun, a little politically incorrect at times, and so as long as the professionals pull us back in. So I love my teammates, both at the desk and outside the desk.
That's very cool. Yeah, Ernie's doesn't have a shortage of opinions, does he?
No, or a shortage of knowledge, and he's been doing this for so many years. His father was a great broadcaster, and so for someone like myself, him dropping jewels and letting me know kind of the ins and outs of it has been something that's just been so helpful for me.
Yeah. When did you know that you wanted to try this and do this? Like, yeah, you know basketball pretty well, but when did you think I could actually do this and communicate and educate and motivate and entertain people?
I always felt like maybe I had the gift, but I didn't understand where that gift could be used. So I knew that amongst basketball circles with GMs, insiders, presidents of teams, I could give my opinion and it was valued, that I could consult for teams, but I never thought the one thing I really like doing is being a fan and expressing it to the fan the way I feel that people should. A lot of times I think that everyone wants to show you how smart they are, so they make it difficult to understand.
Right.
What I try to do is show you how simple the game is, and if you love it, let's all go down the rabbit hole together. But it's not a rabbit hole first. It's love, it's basketball first. Then we can go and figure out the nuances. And so hopefully, I'm letting the fans, not intimidating them and letting them know, look, you're a part of this too, and if you're a fan and you've watched enough game, you can know just as much as the pros do.
True. And my whole family watches when we're all together, and my kids are trying to educate me, and I'm like, I played basketball, but they're like, but they know a lot because of Players Only and other people like you that are really helping them walk around and go, I know this percentage of assists, but I think, you get people who want to come up and try to educate you too when you're in public.
Or debate you, especially on the best players of all time and why, because you do give them knowledge and they use that back on you. Well, you said this percentage matter and this guy's percentage is better, and sometimes you have to kind of say, good point, but I'm not going to get into that argument with you. But no, it's a lot of fun because we want to involve the fans. I mean, whether it was John Madden, whether it was George Blaha, Chick Hearn in basketball, Marv Albert, those guys made me want to do it and express the excitement that is going on in the arena or in the studio.
And Marv Albert's still doing it.
Yeah, Marv is the voice. I don't think he'll stop until his voice goes, and I don't see that happening. So it's been an honor working with him every Thursday at the games.
Who do you think is going to be the MVP race? How do you see this playing out?
Yeah, very honestly, I don't see anyone can take it away from Harden right now. Just what he's done, scoring-wise. I know Chris Paul, he's doing some things that we haven't seen before, a 60-point triple-double, 50-point triple-doubles, 40-point triple-double. So the way he's playing right now is just an offensive explosion. And LeBron, what he's doing with L.A., no one really suspected it. But I would say a couple of dark horses are Kawhi out in Toronto, Antetokounmpo at the Bucks. And then just to throw one more in there, let's see, Paul George of OKC, because they're playing so well.
George, pump fake, three on the way. Yes! Paul George nails it.
Kevin, it's great to have you on Dish.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Thanks for doing this. All right, so you got paid to play NBA basketball. Now you're getting paid to talk about it. Which do you prefer?
Playing is way more fun than anything else you're ever going to do in your entire life. When I was coaching and GMing, I told those guys, this is the best gig you'll ever have. Enjoy it.
And you did.
I did. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah. And now are you enjoying this?
I do. I enjoy it. Come in, I get a chance to spend time with good friends. I've known Isiah Thomas. We talked a little bit about IU earlier from Indiana University, and I've known him since we were teenagers. And so we come here, we work, go on the road, do games. So it's fun. It keeps me involved.
Yeah, you have good teammates.
Yes, very good teammates. So it's fun.
So what can we look for in the second half? This seems to be, in recent years, could be one of the most exciting second halves because we don't know who's going to finish first at this point.
Yeah, there's only a few teams that are completely out of it. Right. Everybody's in the mix. And anybody that can throw a little 7-3 from a 10-game stretch probably goes from 9th to 6th. So I think Boston, you're going to see Boston grow and play better. I think you'll see them by the end of the year really being a problem to get out in the playoffs. Trying to beat them 4 out of 7 is going to be tough. Toronto's going to be an interesting team. They're building up some real chemistry and stuff. Denver's probably still too young yet to have that kind of single-mindedness where you think they can go there. I anticipate Golden State just because they know how to win. They've been there. They've been so successful. They will get it together, but if they don't get it together from kind of a collective soul of your team group, they won't do it. Someone will beat them. And just because you have to have a collective soul that just has one goal, you step on the floor, you can feel it, you can see it. Nothing disturbs that, nothing bothers that single-mindedness of we got to win this game.
Sure.
And I would say in all my years in the NBA, which have been a lot, every year there's only 2 or 3 teams that have that. When I watch, I say everybody else is a pretender. Some guys pretend better than others and stuff. But these 3 teams have that, where they're going to be hard to beat because they won't quit. They believe in each other. They're going to battle to the end, and they're not afraid to compete. And and they're not afraid to compete collectively. And they're not worried about getting their numbers. They're worried about getting that win. And in our league right now, there are a lot of numbers chasers. And if you have talent, I'll tell you what, if you had talent, if I wanted to get 30 points a game, I could have got 30 points a game.
Right.
I was just taking some bad shots. And so, but on our team, that's not you were trying to get the best shot that possession. And so you weren't worried about going out and putting up numbers. You were worried about going out and putting up wins. But yeah, the second half of the season is going to be fun. Everybody's going to be in it. I'd say the last 2 weeks of the season, there'll still be a ton of jockeying for spots and positions. And a lot of years, that's set in stone by then.
You mentioned Toronto and Denver right now are at the top of the Western and Eastern. Did you anticipate that at the beginning of the season?
No, I actually thought that Boston would come out and play really well. They've yet to catch rhythm. But the last 3 or 4 games, they're playing much better. I see symmetry now. I see some collective spirit and some collective, I see some building there. So I had them instead of Toronto being the best team. Everybody has Golden State. And I have not, I talked about symmetry and chemistry and just kind of that real positive energy. When you watch a game, when I watch a game, I watch it differently. And so there's a symmetry and an energy and kind of, everybody's playing towards one goal. You can just feel it and see it. I haven't seen that yet in Golden State. Right. Denver, yes, I have seen that. Jokic, passing, averaging over 7 assists, amazing as a big center. But no, I did not. I never thought I would, at this point in the season, the halfway point in the season, say that I didn't think Toronto and Denver would have the 2 best records in each conference.
Here's Leonard driving, kicking, Green the three.
Isiah, it's great to meet you in the flesh.
Likewise.
All right, so I was telling you, I went to Indiana at the same time, and I know I look a lot younger than you, but yeah. But there was a day I was at the student union, I'm looking out going, I think that's Isiah in a green car.
Green Hornet. I had the Green Hornet, and the brakes were bad, so you had to pump the brakes before it would stop. And Indiana, you were coming down the hill, so as you're coming down the hill, you take your foot off the gas and you'd be pumping your brakes all the way, and you was hoping that you wouldn't roll through the light.
And you survived.
Survived.
Yeah. I think the last time I saw you was at Assembly Hall, and I was one of the people shouting, 2 more years?
Oh,
2 more years?
Yeah.
2 more years?
You were shouting 2 more years, and I was like, I'm really hungry. I just want some food. I want 2 more years of food. Let me get something to eat.
And that worked out all right for you. Yeah.
Worked out all right.
All right.
Yeah.
So when did you think, I can turn this into, talking about basketball and not having to worry about food either?
I never thought that. Actually, my wife approached Dick Ebersol at the time.
Wow. Indiana grad too.
Yeah, and we were at an event, and my wife walked up to Dick Ebersol and said, I think my husband would be good working for you guys over at NBC, and that's kind of how it happened. I had never thought about talking about basketball. I was only playing it, coaching it, or GMing it.
But now you do pretty good. I watch you every night.
Thank you.
I mean, it's fun to watch, and it's fun to watch all of you there. What is it that gets you excited about coming to work and knowing that you're going to have some good rapport, let's call it that, with your co-stars?
First of all, like you said, good rapport. I mean, the guys that I work with, we really do have fun.
Yeah.
And because you enjoy the environment that you're working in and you're having fun, and then you get to talk about the game, and you get to talk about basketball, something that you really love, you're passionate about it. So it really doesn't seem like work. It just seems like you're just coming to hang out and talk to people on television about what it is that they're watching and what you're seeing.
Yeah, that's what it feels like, a great hangout. What do you think has changed about the game since you stopped playing it?
2 things. Coaches accept bad shots being taken. And the 3-point shot, so many players take 3-point shots. And you'll see a lot of nights on the stat sheet that people will take more 3s than they do 2s. So everybody's going for the home run, and the safe, secure shot is not in vogue. The more riskier shot, the big payoff, right? Everybody wants the big payoff from the 3-point line. So consequently, you're shooting it more. It's much more exciting. Coaches are accepting that more, right, and the fans are appreciating it. So, you ride with that.
Oladipo to win
Another one! Another one!
It's great to have you on Dish.
My pleasure, man.
Thanks for joining us, even though you're on the injured reserve list.
Yeah, soon to come off, though. We're close.
Good. Hasn't affected your game out there?
No, I can still play. I can still, fortunately for me, I use my voice now more than my legs.
Yeah. How's that working for you? Pretty good, right?
Yeah, man. It beats having a real job. As I tell my friends, it's a lot of fun. Look, I love sports, all sports. Obviously, basketball is near and dear to the heart. So to have the opportunity to cover the NBA, what we consider to be the greatest game in the world is
in the world,
awesome experience.
It's become an international sport more than any other sport. Maybe that's the thing where they kick the ball, but really basketball has become it.
It has. It's also the sport that young people most identify with. Our stars are more visible. They're high character people. They have a sense of community. And then when you just look at the overall skill set, man, I marvel at it. I'm amazed by it, watching what these guys can do today, and how dedicated they are to their craft. It's right. And we're having a really unique year in terms of the NBA. I don't know that we've ever had the kind of parity that we have in our league right now. So as a fan, every night brings its own new challenges and experiences.
Yeah, you can have a conversation and Golden State doesn't come up in the first 5 names right now in some levels, which is so exciting to watch NBA League Pass for that reason. You can go game to game, and they're great games.
Yeah, I've never had the experience where I'm like going, oh man, I can't wait to see Denver and Portland. Because those teams are legit. They really have a chance. Oftentimes, even as an analyst, we tend to have an idea of who the players are going to be in terms of the teams. And so to have teams of that ilk, where generally they're a couple years away, be here now, playing, winning basketball games consistently, I think it's great for our league, because now, more so than ever, every game counts. It really is a significant impact in terms of whether or not you're in or out come postseason.
Sure. And every game is fun to watch. Dish is based in Denver. The Nuggets have been so much fun. They've really been fun to watch night in and night out, as are most of the teams I'm watching now.
Yeah, Denver is probably the most unique story in that, like, there are a lot of stories where teams are playing above expectations, but they've blown the expectations through the roof. I mean, I never thought that in the new year that the Nuggets could be the first seed, you know, in the Western Conference. So they are truly exciting. And it's not just that they're all competitive. It's also the style. I mean, the high scoring, the shots that are being made by these guys, the skill set. I mean, you can feel it. And in watching, you know, League Pass, I know for me, I literally watch it on my iPad daily. And I do. And I'm a fan, and it's my job. But I'm telling you, I'll lay in the bed and sit there, and I'll just pop around to different games and, you know, seeing which is the close game, you know, and sometimes they're staggered so you can, you know, watch the endings of all the games.
That's right.
And, so I thoroughly enjoy it, watching as many games as I can. And as I said, watching as much skill as I've ever seen in the NBA.
Jokic for three. Got it!
Hey, it's great to have you on Dish.
Appreciate it.
Thanks
Thank
for doing
you.
this. When did you decide, hey, I think I could do this? I could do television. I could do it pretty well, and I'm going to give it a shot.
I still haven't decided. But one thing I do is enjoy it. I mean, especially being here at Turner, we have so many guys that it's like a family. It feels like we're on the back of the bus, still kicking it around in the locker room, having fun. And obviously, with the great thing they do around here, they let us be ourselves.
Right.
And everybody, you can see their personality, and you get a chance to see Charles and Shaq, and you have other guys who have different personalities. So we have a good thing going here at Turner.
And it's a good family, like any family. There's sometimes some fun arguments back and forth, but that's part of the reason you want to watch it.
It feels like the locker room. We get a little heated and close to some battles, some real battles, and that's the one thing is genuine. And guys say some things that's, you know, about other players, about players on the set with each other, and so we have a good time.
Yeah. All right. So who do you hate?
What I hate? I don't hate anybody, but I'm still mad at Shaq. I still hold this grudge.
I thought that might happen.
Because they beat us in that Game 7 where they cheated. He fouled me. You know, you can go list and go on and on. So the Shaq, I still hold that basketball dislike for him, but we all get along, you know, here at Turner.
Have you talked like this in recent years about second half with so many teams that are in the hunt?
No, you're totally right. I mean, in the past, we've always kind of penciled in the Golden State Warriors and the Cleveland Cavaliers, and kind of the conversation has been who can beat the Golden State Warriors and prevent them getting to the championship, and who's the best opponent for LeBron James in the East and the Cleveland Cavaliers, and ultimately end up Cleveland and Golden State. But this is totally different. This year, you got some teams where the Golden State Warriors, obviously, we still think they're one of the best teams, but they just haven't shown. I mean, they've had some injuries.
Right.
They haven't played as well. And then in the East, it's wide open, and I think everybody feels they have a chance.
Absolutely. It's going to be very exciting. And there was a time you go, oh, we'll get to the playoffs and then the season will start. But right now, this is the season, and anything could happen. And also in the Western Conference, too. I mean,
well, yeah, the Western Conference was so interesting. As of today, if you look at it, you could be in first place. You lose 2 or 3 games, anywhere from 1 to like 13, I think it is. It's 3 games separating from first place. And obviously, you saw the Los Angeles Lakers. They were creeping up. LeBron's been out, and then they went back down. And I think, for the Golden State Warriors, they probably feel good because they figure we're 2 or 3 games. We're the Golden State Warriors. We can just turn on that switch at the around All-Star break and get back into first or second place. And surprise was at the beginning of the year, Houston Rockets didn't look like they had anything going, no mojo, injuries, guys are out, and James Harden just went to another level, and they have them back with home court advantage. So it's wide open in the Western Conference.
he's shooting 5-pointers, and they're not 3-pointers. I mean, he is so far out there, and they're just all going in. It's amazing.
You know what's amazing for me is I was a guy who shot threes, but for now watching, say, a James Harden, they are stepping back. So momentum is going away from the basket, 2 or 3 feet behind the line, and shooting more and more accurate right now when you look at the percentage. It's amazing to watch, even for a guy who shot 3-pointers.
Yeah.
I know I'm old, but I get a chance to see some guys doing something that just didn't happen in my era.
How has the sport changed since you played in the sense of how the teamwork is going on and just the excitement of the games day to day and how that's working, especially now it's become an international sport and you're getting the best players from all around the world, and there's a lot of them.
And I think, one, the commissioner in the league wanted to clean up the physicality. They took out the hand checking, and then as of this year is the freedom of movement. I think it's been fantastic for the game. When I played, it was more of a football game versus a basketball game, and you see a game is a little bit more free-flowing. And obviously the points have gone up and scoring has gone up, but it's just a little bit more free-flowing style the way they're playing now.
You gotta love that
This guy, LeBron James, made a big shift. How's that playing out for the Lakers?
You know what? He's typically always gotten off to a slow start when he's gone to a new team. No different with the Laker team, but as we saw, they started to hit their stride. They started to get an identity. And what's interesting is, you know, coming in, I thought, you know what? I knew how special the guy was. I said, they're going to be at least a top 4 seed. Now you're looking around saying, hey, you know, they could get 2, 3, potentially if they can get healthy and stay healthy.
Right.
And then when you look at Golden State, they've taken a little step back, you know, and the teams that are ahead of them, I know he knows that they can beat those teams in a 7-game series. So, you know, we could be looking at a changing of the power in that Western Conference. I think Golden State may still have something to say about it, but the Lakers are looking very much like a real contender.
Any team, it seems, in the top 10 of each conference could end up winning. How do you see this playing out?
We thought Golden State would be so dominant this year. You know, they have all the pieces, they have the talent, they have the experience, they have the championship pedigree, but they're kind of struggling a little bit, if you can call this struggling.
Right.
And then over here in the East, you got Giannis in Milwaukee, okay? You got Kawhi in Toronto. You got Embiid in Philly. You got Boston still on the come. So it's wide open. Anybody really can win, and that's really what you want to see in the basketball season.
Leonard with a left-handed slam.
All right, make a prediction right now before you go.
Golden State and the Boston Celtics in the finals. And I'm looking at the OKC being in the Western Conference, and I think it'll be the Boston Celtics and the Toronto Raptors.
If you could play for one team now, watching this season develop, who would you play for?
Ooh, this year, who would I play with?
Now.
Yeah, right now. I would like to play right now probably for Toronto. I like their offense. I like what they're doing. I think a big guy could fit in there very easily with them. I'm a big fan of Kawhi Leonard, and I think Nick Nurse's offense up there is really fun. It's spread. You got a lot of room. You can go to work. And he seems to put guys in positions to succeed. And, you know, today, not so much, but the last few years have been fun playing for Golden State. Just get up and down, play attack, play basketball, move the ball, and just hoop. And that's how we all grew up. We all grew up just moving, passing, cutting. The stationary basketball I see today sometimes bothers me. Just like one guy has the ball for 45 dribbles. I like passing, moving, cutting.
KD 3, right on cue.
I work at Dish Network, and we are based in Denver, Colorado. So you know where this is going.
Yes.
Jokic's pretty good, too. I would think, you know, that'd be a good team to play for, too. Yeah,
Yes, it would be fun. He's the guy I was thinking of. You know, he and Embiid, any of the big guys. I played with Robert Parrish, and you get 2 big guys that know how to play, know how to space, know how to duck in, know how to move and work. It's very hard because most teams have one decent post defender. They don't have 2 post defenders. And yeah, Embiid, Jokic, the Karl Anthony Towns from Minnesota. There's a lot of bigs that kind of play outside in. We all played inside out. And so, but being able to play with those guys would be fun.
Jokic is loose. Wheels into the key, and he scores it.
By far, Golden State Warriors, I can make so much money. Just standing there shooting like 15 threes, you can just make about 6 or 7 of them. The average would be 20 points, get to the championship, and so it would definitely be the Golden State Warriors. And Steve Kerr was my former teammate, so it'd be hard for him to kind of coach me as a former teammate. I don't know if I would listen to him. I'd just take shots.
If he's watching right now,
well, no, hey, Steve, I'm available. I got about 2 games or 2 trips up, but Steve's done a fantastic job. I'd love to play for him. The reason why is he's letting them go open. They play the right way. They're moving the basketball, and they're having fun.
if you could join one team right now for the second half of the season, who would you play for?
For the second half, the Pistons. Yeah, I mean, I only wanted to wear one jersey, one uniform when I played, and if I ever have to put back on a jersey, it would be a Piston jersey.
All right, guys, trivia. The first question is, who scored? And can we bring Studio J in here? We'll bring Studio J's in here too. Okay. Who scored the most points in the NBA in the 80s? Zeke?
You used to warm up before basketball games. Do you do vocal warm-ups before you go on TV? And do you like go Jokic?
I should do that, Jokic, because I mess up players' names all the time. Now, if you're a rookie, I can mess up your name. I just do that because you never call a rookie by their name. But there's names like Bogdanovic that I don't get well, or Antetokounmpo.
But you got that.
I just mastered that one, yeah. So, no, it's a lot of fun. I don't really do warm-ups, but the whole day I kind of just, few days up to it, I just kind of prep myself and kind of get in the mode of players only, hopefully to give out some good information.
Who's the hardest player's name to pronounce right now in the NBA to you?
Ooh.
Who do you have to do warm-ups with before you go on?
Trying to think. Antetokounmpo. Well, Antetokounmpo is an interesting name, but once you kind of get it, you get it. I wish I had some lists because I could tell you some names of guys. I look at some people once in a while. I'm going to do a game. I said, I hope he doesn't get in the game because I have no idea how the hell to pronounce his name. And there's a few of them out there. I would have to look at a roster though. But there's some guys' names I look at and I think, huh? So yeah. But
see, and you went with the last name instead of Giannis. So that was brave.
But once you get it, you get it. But once you don't get it, you don't get it. There's a lot I don't get yet.
How long did it take you to learn how to pronounce Giannis's name?
That's one of the great things about our game. It is so global. So we've got, you got Porzingis, you got Markkanen, you got all these, you got Sabonis, who I played with his dad in Portland. And so, you got to learn all these different names. I typically prefer names with 1 or 2 syllables. But when you have the international impact, you start getting up to 4 or 5. So I do practice, and work on it. It took me about a year to get Giannis's name down.
But you got it, yeah.
I used to call him the big fella. Whenever, if you hear me on the air and I call somebody the big fella, that means I don't know how to pronounce their name.
Even if they're 5'8".
Yeah.
Back to Leonard, sharing and caring.
If you're thinking about buying NBA League Pass, this is a great time to do it.
Oh, well, you need to get it now because the playoffs have started, period. And I mean in-season playoffs. Usually that doesn't start till after the All-Star break, 2-3 weeks after, and guys, teams vying for position and seeing where they are. But what's so unique about this season is that just last week, between 2nd place and 8th place, it was only a separation of 5 games. That's incredible, and you never see that. And so what I love about it is that the playoffs have started. Every game means something, and so we're lucky to be able to watch all these games and watch the playoffs early.
And you get paid for it. It's not bad. Not a bad gig.
And I hear my father at home going, I told you it's not a job, son. You just love doing what you do because you get paid for it. And so, no, I can't complain about this. It's a blessing to still be around the game, have fun, and get to watch games for a living.
Why do you think NBA League Pass resonates with so many people?
Oh, I tell you what, it resonates with me because I can sit on my couch and I can watch like 7 games. I love it. I mean, I watch it. I flip it on all the time. It's just, if you like basketball, you can just go through and look at a lot of different teams. I'm interested in watching teams trending upward. I like watching them. Then I watch them again, in a couple days. I might miss a game or 2, but then I watch them again. And I like to see this growth of teams going up. So for me, I find it fascinating that I can watch all these different teams any night of the week I want. And it's just perfect. So I think there are a lot of people like me that are basketball junkies, and they can have a night where they can sit in front of their TV and watch 7-8 games and just enjoy themselves thoroughly.
Twisting, weaving, firing, and hitting.
If you already have Dish Network, you already have the opportunity to watch what we consider to be one of the best games in the world, the NBA. And you're not going to see better athletes, no matter the sport. There's compelling drama, storylines, high character performers out on the floor. And I just think the game of basketball is so unique. It's amazing to watch all these massive human beings go out and run around like they're 5'8". But in essence, that's what you see on the NBA court. So I do know that a lot of the Dish Network subscribers are fans of the NBA, and now you got the opportunity to get League Pass and keep up with all the high drama.
Why should Dish customers get the NBA League Pass for the second half of the season?
It's good.
NBA League Pass knows this game is all about choices. Go right or left.
To the bucket, left hand.
Step back or drive. Land off the glass or NBA League Pass
is all about choices.
Watch the whole season. Follow my favorite team
or my favorite player.
Watch on my phone.
How you want it.
My TV.
Where you want it. Or my tablet.
To order, call 1-877-DISH-PPV or visit mydish.com/NBA for more information.
FYI, Isiah drives a much better car these days. Take it from our all-star lineup, the best is yet to come this season, and Dish is your home court for all the action. With NBA Team Pass, you can watch every game from your favorite club, no matter what market you live in. Watch the Heat from Minnesota or the Lakers from New York. And with NBA League Pass, you can watch up to 40 live games a week from all over the NBA. We have a special half-season offer which will take you all the way to the end of the season when all the biggest games take place. Now, to find out more, check out mydish.com/NBA or just give us a call at 1-877-347-4778. That's 1-877-DISH PPV. My thanks to all the NBA broadcast analysts. Dish is ready to take you courtside for the rest of the season. Don't miss your chance to watch all the live action from the comfort of your TV room. In the Dish studio, I'm Scott Patrick.